Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 136, single number. So what the question states here, we are given an array of integers where every element appears twice except one unique element. You can clearly see here every element this one appears uh, twice except one unique element, nothing but one in this case. So in the example one, right? So here our main task is to find that unique element using a solution that runs in linear time big O of n and uses constant extra space, nothing but big O of 1, right? That uses constant extra space, nothing but big O of 1 in this case, right? So let's go with the so I hope the question is clear what we need to do here. Yeah, we have already considered example 1. I hope this is clear. We have to, in this case, we have to return 1. So that runs in big of, we have to write the code that runs in big of n, right? So linear time. So in this case, nums 4, 1, 2, 1, 2 we have. So 1 and 2 is repeated, 4 is not repeated here. This one, 4 you have to give here, right? So this is fine. And nums we have 1 here in this case, so we have only one number which is not repeated. We have to return 1 itself, right, in this case. So I hope this is clear. So the next case here is let's discuss the approach first, followed by edge cases one by one, and then finally write the code and discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. Initially, let's discuss the approach first. So here let's discuss the approach step by step. First thing, we'll be going with the bit manipulation XOR, right? So we'll be going with the XOR, or we'll be going with the bit manipulation. So here I have considered the same example, the first example that they have given in the question, right? So that it will be easier to understand for us. So output should be 1 in this case, right? So what we'll do here, first let's discuss this one step by step, right? So before going for the step-by-step execution, let me explain certain things here, right? So we can solve this problem using the XOR operation. So mainly this one, XOR operation, this symbol, right? So which has the following property. So first one is, so let's go with the identity property. Identity property is nothing but here in this case, x to the power of 0, this is x. X to the power of 0 is x, or I can directly write here. So let me write directly here, x to the power of 0 is x here, and sorry, this is manipulation we are using right here. X, sorry, I got confused here. X to the power of 0 is nothing but, I mean x, this one to the 0 is nothing but 0 here. Sorry, x XOR 0. So here in this case, x XOR x is nothing but here in this case 0. This one x XOR 0 is nothing but x. X XOR x is nothing but 0. Sorry, I got confused here. So I explained wrong thing here. So x to x XOR 0 is x. X XOR x is nothing but 0 here. So let's go with the initial state. Initially, result is 0 here in this case. So we have result 0 in this case. So the first example we are considering here. Initially, also before going to this, we know that this is identity property, this is self-cancelling property. X XOR 0 is x, x XOR x is 0. And also one more thing we need to consider here is commutative and associative. Nothing but order of operations does not matter here. We can make use of these properties when XOR all numbers together. When we XOR all the numbers together, right? So the numbers that appears twice will cancel out 0. So they will get cancelled. Only the numbers that doesn't cancel out, finally that we will return as output, and only leaving the unique number in this case, right? So this is simple to understand, right? So XOR will XOR all the numbers together. The numbers which are duplicate, which are present twice, so that will cancel out each other, and the unique number will leave. Unique number will be left at the last, and we will return that itself in simple terms, right? This is easier to understand. So in this case, result equals 0 we have considered. So we initialize result with 0 here. We can clearly see initial state result equals 0. We initialize result with 0. So first iteration will be going with 0 XOR 2. In this case, we get 2. So this is first time we are getting, right? So this is fine. 0 we got, 2 we got. and the third iteration result 2, again 2 is present here in this case. So the array we have here is within the array this one 3, sorry, 2 to 1 we have, right? So I have considered 3 here, so this has to be 2 to 1. This is fine. So first we got this one 2 to 1. First we got output 2, and second time also we are getting 2 itself here. We are checking for the second iteration here, right? 2 XOR 2 is nothing but 0. As I have explained earlier, so when we do the XOR together, so if the same number is present, they cancel out each other and we will get the output 0 in this case, right? So we will be going with 0 in this case. So let's go with the next iteration or iteration 3 here. The result 0 we have, and n1 equals 1 we have here in this case. Sorry, XOR 1 we have 1 here. 0 because 1 is present only once here. So why I am going with n1? Sorry, so much of confusion this time. So this is fine. 0 XOR 1 here we got 1 because this is present for the first time. 1 is present in the array for the first time, so this doesn't cancel out. So this we will return this one as output, return this one as output in this case. So this will be, in this case the output will be 1, right? So the final answer is 1 here in this case, right? So here the final answer will be 1 in this case, right? So we will return 1 as output. So let's go with the edge cases. I hope the approach is completely clear. Let's discuss the edge cases, right? So let's go with the smallest case. In this case, we have only 1, so the output will be quite obviously 1 itself, right? So unique number is 1. So we have seen this one in example itself, example 2 or example 3, I think, in the question. So all negative numbers, so this is for the second condition, all negative numbers -1, -2 and -2. Unique number is -1 in this case. So unique number is -1 because -2 is present twice here. This will cancel out, and -1 will be, we need to return -1 in this case. So the third case here is mixed positives and negative. In this case 4, 1 cancel out each other, 2 and 2 cancel out each other. So 4 will remain, and we will remain, we will return 4 as output. So the fourth one here is large input array. So here I have considered, you can clearly see here, I have considered the large elements, right? So we are considering these many elements here. So this must still work on big of n time. That one we have to take care of, right? So I hope this is clear. These are the 4 edge cases that we need to consider. The first one is smallest case. The second one is all negative numbers. The third one is mixed positives and negatives. The fourth one is large input array in this case, right? So these are the 4 edge cases that we need to consider in this case. So I hope this is completely clear, right? I hope this is completely clear. So I hope the approach and the edge cases that we discussed is completely clear. Now let's start writing the code. Let's start writing the code here. The first step here is we will initialize the result as 0 initially. So I'll just initialize this one with 0. So just give me a second. What happened here? So I'll just give result. Let's initialize the result variable to 0 here. So we will XOR all the elements, cancelling out duplicates. We have discussed this one in the approach, and we have seen the examples as well as the edge cases. So by this time it should be completely clear. That's what we are articulating this one in the form of code. So this one will be let n of nums in this case, right? Result XOR equals n. So this is fine. So duplicates will cancel out each other. Remaining, we have to return the element that doesn't cancel out because it is present exactly once, right? So that's what we need to, that's what we are doing in the line number 3. Finally, we will return the result. So this is it for the code. Simple, right? So let me run the code once. I hope this works. Let's see. So here you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed here. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? So let me hit the submit button once. I hope all the test cases work here. Let's see. So you can clearly see here all the test cases are getting passed here. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? So let's quickly discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. So the approach here is the approach in this case. The approach that we went with here is XOR. We know that one, right? Bit manipulation, XOR. So the overall time complexity would be in this case big O of n, right? So it is big O of n. What will be the overall space complexity here? The overall space complexity would be big O of 1. Why it is big O of 1 here? No extra space is being used here, right? So the overall space complexity is big O of 1 here. Overall time complexity would be big O of n because we are iterating through the array once, right? So the time complexity would be big O of n and the space complexity would be big O of 1 in this case, right? So here no extra space is being used and we are iterating through the array once here. The time complexity, so it is big O of n and the space complexity would be big O of 1 here. I hope the solution that we have written is completely clear as well, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.